Am I live? And I didn't know all of this time. Do you? I don't want to do anything if I'm not live. Can you see that I'm live, guys? But yeah, hello. If this is now live, welcome to the stream. My name's Blut084, BLUT084. Sorry if you heard any disruption there from the start of the stream. You may have even heard me swearing and blinding because I've just seen a new game coming out called Destroy All Humans. Well, it's not a new game, but it's an old game. It looks like it's going to be not reimagined, but just made or another sequel. I did really enjoy playing those games. One game I don't enjoy playing was Spyro just before this. Oh my goodness, I did not enjoy. Yeah, I'm definitely live then. I did not enjoy playing that game at all. I never do. But I'm trying to get it completed because I've been tasked by you guys and also my son. So he asked me to play it. He's asked me to. And other people have asked me to play the game, so I'm looking at my phone here. And anyway, let's get off of that. Let's get off the games. That's in another video. Today, we're going to be continuing on with what we drew and drawing, which is Dark Phoenix. If you don't know about Dark Phoenix, you will find out a bit more information in a moment. But if you've seen the film, this is kind of based on this is kind of based on a picture I saw myself, and I thought I'd try and draw something like, because I'm having trouble with the way bodies are, the way the body should look lately. I thought I'd have a go by copying pretty much a picture there. So on Sunday, before I could decide, because I put the vote out for you to either do the Dark Phoenix this week or do a Nightwing. Somebody over on Instagram did ask me to do a Nightwing video, but I always put you a vote on a Sunday over on Instagram. My name's Blut084 Art and Games, same place, different place, same name, different place. Sorry. So definitely go and check that out. In today's video, because we've already done the sketch itself, that was all done yesterday, guys. Again, you can see the difference in what I can do to what I'm copying from. But like I said, I wanted to copy, not a direct copy, but just sort of get the idea of the way the arms and the legs and everything should be. I think that this here needs a bit more of a change up, and I think I'll make that a bit wider. But we're going to be inking today using the fine line pen that I always use, which is this one here, 7.0. We may use my Sharpie. We may even use these for darker, thicker lines, because this is obviously a thin line. And you still need dark, thick lines. I might even use that one, actually. That was quite good last time. Got my Sharpie there. We do have my new pens, which I don't want to use it on this one, because I want to keep them fresh as much as possible. Because these pens here are running out. And these are not so much, because I only really use them for one thing and one thing only, whereas these I use these for colouring and everything, and that's what I've sort of run out. That's why I gone and got myself a new pens, but I've still got good pens in the other one, so as I go through time you'll hear that occasional yeet and me throwing a pen away. But that's tomorrow. Today we're going to be inking this. I'm going to get the Comic Historian playing in the background, guys. If you don't know who they are, I'll try and leave a link down below. If there isn't a link, ask me for that one down below. Otherwise, you can leave me a comment here now live in the comment section. Otherwise, scroll all the way to the bottom to leave one down below, right next to the subscribe button.
Welcome back to Comic Historian, and today we're going to be getting another Know Your Universe, where we're going to be discussing the wielders of the Phoenix Force. Created by Chris Claremont, the cosmic entity known as the Phoenix Force first appeared in Uncanny X-Men number 101 in October of 1976. The Phoenix is an immortal manifestation of life and passion. It was born at the birth of the universe.
I have a feeling that was the one that's running out. Yay!
Throughout the multiverse. Even casual fans of the X-Men should usually
This
associate
one.
the Phoenix Force
Same pen.
with Jean Grey, as she is the most prominent
Yeah, it was running out.
throughout its comic book history. However, Jean is not the first, nor will she be the last being to ever play host to this wild creature. Also, apparently the Phoenix Force is a thing for redheads. Just a heads up. First up, we have What If. While the What If tales are never truly canon, several characters have become hosts for the Phoenix in these issues. We've had a Phoenix Storm, a Phoenix Nightcrawler, a Phoenix Wolverine. In most cases, the heroes try to use the powers for good, but they're usually corrupted by the Dark Phoenix. Next up, we have the Primitive Era. During the Stone Age, the Phoenix came to Earth and took residence inside of a red-haired primitive. While in this host, she worked alongside the ancient Avengers to protect the Earth from the Celestials. She also began a romantic relationship with Odin of Asgard. Who doesn't like a fiery immortal manifestation of life and passion? Am I right? Next up, we have the Gerard of Haven, and I probably mispronounced that. Introduced in the Guardians of the Galaxy number 11, Gerard is one of the few non-mutant characters to ever wield the Phoenix, although it would be added later that he had a subtle psychic ability. He offered himself as a host in order to save his planet from certain destruction. Unfortunately, even with the most awesome power of the Phoenix, he was unable to do so, and instead he transported every citizen.
We did all the sketch yesterday, guys. So if you want to learn and see how I did all that, don't forget to click yesterday's video.
Corvus would be another wielder of the Phoenix Force, and in the ancient days of the Shi'ar Empire, a warrior known as Rook Shi'ar acted as the host of the Phoenix Force by wielding a sword called the Blade of the Phoenix, kind of like Game of Thrones, I guess. This sword would pass down through his bloodline until it was wielded by his descendant Corvus, who was sent to kill Rachel Gray, another host of the Phoenix. Instead of killing her, however, they began a romantic relationship, which is the same thing, but it's more like a slow death. Then we had the Iron Fist. The immortal Iron Fist, Fong Ji, was introduced in New Avengers number 25 during the Avengers vs. X-Men crossover. Long ago, a redheaded girl was destined to become the Iron Fist to protect the world from the Phoenix. Instead, they joined with the Phoenix, and all history of this mysterious Iron Fist has been kept secret. Rachel Gray is an alternate reality daughter of Scott and Jean Grey, who first appeared during the Days of the Future Past storyline. Rachel was born with most of the same abilities as her mother, and while she never truly played host to the Phoenix, she was born with a connection to it. She would use this to enhance her own abilities, and her connection would be severed by Jean Grey when she began collecting all of the shards of the Phoenix Force throughout the galaxy. Madeline Pryor is another one who hosted the Phoenix Force, and she's a clone of Jean Grey. Madeline was created by Mr. Sinister. She was brought to life after the Phoenix chose her as a host after the real Jean's death. Madeline Pryor would never reach the levels of power that the real Jean did, though, and eventually she would die. During the Avengers vs. X-Men arc, Mr. Sinister would then use 5 Madeline Pryor clones to try and contain the full power of the Phoenix, and, well, it didn't work. Quentin Quire is another fan favorite, and he first appeared during Grant Morrison's new X-Men run and has been a student of the X-School ever since. Honestly, he's kind of a bit of a dick. The current version of Quentin hasn't actually been a host for the Phoenix, but his future self will. During the Battle of the Atom arc in the X-Men, a team featuring a Phoenix version of Quentin came from the future to force the out-of-time original X-Men to return to their home. Honestly, this Quentin is a bit more stable and less dickish than the one we get to see usually, which is kind of odd since most people are driven evil by the Dark Phoenix. Now, before a bunch of you go into the chat and go, hey, there's this weird issue where he became the Phoenix and it actually came and selected him, no one really knows what's in true continuity with Quentin Quire at this point. Currently, he claims that he's hosted the Phoenix Force, but he doesn't seem to have the powers, and he's in the West Coast Avengers. Does anyone know what's going on with Quentin Quire? We've got the Stepford Cuckoos next. Also introduced in Grant Morrison's new X-Men, the Cuckoos are honestly a little too creepy for me. In actuality, they were clones of Emma Frost, and they were very powerful telepaths. There was also more than 3 of them originally, but the Phoenix Force came to Earth during the Phoenix Warsong arc and took control of the 3 Cuckoos and wiped out thousands of cloned Emmas, leaving only the 3, the creepy 3. Hope Summers is one of my favorites, so let's explain her a little bit. After mutant kind was almost wiped out with a word from Scarlet Witch, Hope was born with the birth of Hope. While everyone fought over the very first New Mutant, Cable came along and took her through time in order to protect her. In reality, Hope was destined to be a future host for the Phoenix, who returned to Earth to look for her. During the Avengers vs. X-Men arc, everyone tried to prevent Hope from becoming the new host. After finally making contact, Hope would use the awesome cosmic powers for good and restore the mutant race. Afterwards, she would then release the Phoenix of her own free will, one of the few people to have ever actually done this. Another truly epic moment in the history of the Phoenix is the Phoenix Five. During the Avengers vs. X-Men storyline, the Phoenix returned to Earth in search of its destined host. In an attempt to protect Hope, 5 mutants took on the power.
Okay, we're just going over it with ink pen. I'll get rid of all the construction lines in the moment, but you have to do this so you can do that. So I have to get on.
Phoenix, causing mass death and destruction. The Phoenix would be pulled out of them, and it would eventually reside in Hope. But Cyclops was the most prominent of the Phoenix Five, so let's go a little bit into him. His act after becoming corrupted by the Dark Phoenix was so awful that it deserves this own section. Corrupted by the Dark Phoenix, he murdered his one-time mentor, Charles Xavier. After he was released from the Phoenix, he would then go on to search out the Phoenix Egg in order to regain that power. Using his new Phoenix powers, he defended the Earth from the incursion during the start of the Secret War event. It would also become a part of the villains that were saved by the evil Ultimate Reed Richards, who would then arrive on Battleworld to confront Doom. Using his powers, he then stood face to face with God Doom, who easily defeated him with the powers of a Beyonder. Now, at the time of making this video, you can kind of figure out why I made this video. The Dark Phoenix movie was just announced with a trailer by Fox, so all of those rumors of it being canceled, I guess are false because we have a trailer for the movie finally. So what do you think about that trailer down below? In my opinion, it didn't look that interesting, but hey, I'm going to see it either way, so let me know what you guys think of the trailer and who is your favorite Phoenix host. For me, it really comes down to Hope Summers because I feel like she's the one that truly used it herself. But let me know what you think down below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more comic book information drops, comic book complete stories, pop culture recaps, and video game knowledge. We're here for all that stuff for you guys, and we're going to be here for quite some time.
I hope they are, guys.
Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take some of your favorite pop culture
Yep, they
icons
are.
and give you recaps on their comic books, video games, TV shows, and movies so that you have a better understanding of your favorite stuff. The world is large, guys, and I know a lot of you can't keep up with everything. So don't worry, I have brought it on myself to fill you in. Today we're going to be covering Venom Inc., which is a part of a storyline.
Give me a second. We're not listening to Venom today.
You see, Flash Thompson lost the symbiote, and then Eddie Brockwell. Flash Thompson lost the symbiote, and Lee Price.
Oh, thank you very much there, Sophie. Didn't realize somebody joined me. I was concentrating on what we're drawing. Cool. Thank you very much. I'm going to find something else to do with the Phoenix in a minute because we can't listen to Venom. That's another video altogether. We've already done the Venom. If you haven't checked that one out, that one is in that one.
Got the symbiote, and then Eddie Brock got the symbiote, and Venom.
That one is for the playlist. Definitely. Two become one, I believe. They're all 9-minute videos. Complete story of Death of X. Or yeah, we'll have Death of X because he's got the Phoenix Force in there, and it's something to do with Cyclops, I believe.
When did the X-Men start to die?
Okay, I can turn back.
Welcome to the Complete Story Series by Jake Trade.
Hopefully it'll stay on X-Men. I'm fine with if it stays on X-Men, but if it goes to like something else, a bit different.
Problems and all art is owned by respected companies. Today we're going to be covering the Death of X. Now, you see, when the Secret Wars ended and we started with the all-new, all-different Marvel, two big mysteries existed in the new world of Marvel.
Okay.
Was flying around the entire planet of Earth, and any human that it
Back to what I was doing.
But the mutants, this was
The boring bit.
It would kill them. We also learned that apparently
The going around of everything.
We have no idea how that had happened. Today, we're going to cover that story. It begins aboard the Blackbird as the uncanny X-Men fly to Muir Island. They received a transmission from J.B. Madrix that there was a terrible mistake and he needed their help, with the transmission cut off there. Gold Balls asks if they're really sure that they should be bringing him
Gold
along,
Balls.
since they seems a little out of his league.
For goodness sake. That's the same as,
Scott tells them all to play.
it's not even plagiarizing
Meanwhile,
somebody else. It's an actual character of their own. Golden Balls.
The arrival of the Terrigen Cloud that's about to pass by. Even though most people used to panic at the sight of it, more and more humans are willing to stand there to see if they have a human gene inside of them that will be awoken by this cloud, showing them to have dormant powers. Back at the island, the X-Men get off the Blackbird and
Yeah, you've got the powers,
to a weird fog floating around.
Don't always get good ones.
In the back, Goldball says that whatever this stuff is, it's starting to make him feel gross. Scott notices some blood on the ground. He tells everyone to be ready for anything. Soon the group manages to locate Jamie's research facility, but Emma says that she can only sense a few minds other than their own inside. Scott begins to cough, stating that Jamie staffed this place with his multiple cells and a skeleton crew. But as he talks, he starts to cough more. Emma asks if he's okay, and he tells her that he's fine. They should keep moving. As they walk in, Magic tells everyone that they need to figure out what they're dealing with before someone else gets hurt. But Bobby says that he thinks that it might be too late for that. And then everyone looks to see a dead body covered in boils. Scott examines the body and says they need to find out what did this. And just as he finishes his sentence, the Stepford sisters state that someone is out there. The Stepford sisters lead the group back outside, where they say they have found someone. And as they step over the hill, they look out to see many bodies scattered throughout the mist, and then Jamie pulling himself up. Scott runs over, and Jamie tells him that it's the Terrigen Mist. They figured it out too late. The Terrigen Mist did this. Scott tries to ask how, but Jamie is already dead. Emma says that if the mist really did this, then they've all been exposed. They need to stop it. Magic asks how. Everyone's dead, but Scott tells her that Emma's right. So go get everyone back inside of the Blackbird. Him and Emma will take care of it. A short while later, Scott begins transferring all of Jamie's data over to Hank McCoy. Scott tells him that they need to be 100% sure before they do anything. But as he continues to speak, Scott begins to faint. A short while later, Magic returns to Emma and asks, "Where's Scott?" From the entrance of the facility, Scott walks out and says, "I'm okay." She tells him that he doesn't look fine. And Scott tells her again, "I am fine. I got the data over to Hank." With that, he was able to analyze it, and the Terrigen Mist is toxic to mutants, which means the Inhumans lied to them. As far as he's concerned, the Inhumans have killed everyone here. And if they don't do something now, this will only be the beginning. He will not stand by and accept this. He will do whatever it takes, even if it means war. They are mutants, and they will protect their own. Hank begins to continue his research.
Okay, so that's all the legs done.
Explains their current findings to Medusa. Medusa says that the Terrigen Mist
Stop.
should have no ill side effects.
I like the inking days. It doesn't take half as long as to sketch. You've already got what you
She
want.
goes on stating that they'll do whatever they can to help Hank.
You're just basically going over what you've already drawn. Sometimes I think to myself I should just do inking in one day, but there is always that evening afterwards when I think to myself, wait, change that a little bit. That needs a little bit of tweak. So I allow myself that time to tweak stuff, because sometimes when I do sketch, I don't see the bad bits that I've done. When I first do the sketches, but
which is why she came here. She wanted to see the look in her eye and gauge her reaction. To see if it was.
sometimes I'm alright. I mean, when I first did this, I was happy with it. I have changed a few things. I don't know if you can see the difference from yesterday from today.
But I won't be the only mutant that you need to convince. After Storm leaves, Medusa sits back down stating that they need to be very, very careful now. If they get even one powerful mutant thinking that this is an attack, and as she continues to talk to Black Bolt, suddenly a vision appears in everyone's mind. That vision is Scott, and he's speaking to the minds of every person on Earth. He tells the world that the Inhumans told everyone that this substance that they poured into the atmosphere would only affect them. However, they lied. They learned too late that the Terrigen Mist is lethal, as one of their own, Jamie Madrox, died a painful death after being exposed to it. The Terrigen Mist is toxic to mutants. And for too long, the world has feared and hated mutants. But they, the X-Men, will save them. As soon as the broadcast ended, the Stepford sisters tell Emma that they saw. But Emma stops them, stating she knows, and she does not wish to talk about it. Magic tries to ask what they're supposed to do now. They should all discuss this. But Scott and Emma head back into the facility, telling everyone, not now. Over in Madrid, Storm assists Crystal in diverting the Terrigen cloud away from the city. She tells Crystal that as a thank you.
Okay, so there's the hair. All it needs is the phoenix around it.
Yeah. ISO says, are they really done though? The city is kind of panicked due to Scott's message. And back over on the island, more and more bodies of mutants exposed to the Terrigen arrive. However, as the
Let me
hours
just go over what I've already
Scott and Emma
drawn, because I'm
decide
happy
to
with what I've already got.
Emma says that Hank and Storm keep trying to contact them. What is she supposed to say? They're on a path now and there's no turning back. Soon Magic walks in stating that they need to talk. And Scott says, you're right. It's time to tell you everything. He tells them that him and Emma will not sit by and let the Inhumans destroy them. Powerful mutants are joining their cause, so they have a choice, because the time to act is now. Over in Madrid, Crystal and the Inhumans all attempt to calm down the townspeople, but as the panic spreads, Crystal tells their newest Inhuman, Daisuke, to use his new power to put everyone to sleep. He asks if she's sure.
That's just an outline to tell me where Phoenix Power Glow is going to be, sort of where I'm going to put the glow, but I'll put a lot more different colors in there. Hopefully it'll work as like a fiery effect.
Shortly after Magneto agrees to help, Emma begins showing footage of Madrid with all of the mutants knocked down. And among those images is Crystal, who seems to be smiling. Emma goes on to state that they need Magneto's help. They have a unique opportunity while the Inhumans' primary mobile strike team is in Madrid. All he needs to do is contain them, and then her and Scott will do the rest. Magneto tells her, good.
Okay, so let's give that time to dry a second. And we'll get rid of all of the pencil line underneath. I might shade this one, you know.
But as they wake up, Bobby notices that
Might shade
everyone
this
seems to
one.
have been put to sleep, except for them, pointing at the Inhumans.
Shade it when I say, actually, I don't know. I'll be using my new pens. I want to get the pens going. I want to learn how to use pens properly. Now I can blend things because I've got pens that will blend and they're not oversaturating.
Crystal tells them that it's good that they're awake. They need to work together, and Storm stops her, stating that they were helping, and right now, Crystal needs to explain. Bobby starts yelling at Flint, stating that it was probably him who put them to sleep, and then he flicks a piece of ice at him. Flint leans over, and Bobby tells him that he doesn't like it when people use their powers without permission, huh? Flint tells him not really, but he'll get over it, and then the ground begins to shake. Crystal shouts for everyone to stand down, and Jaceki tells him not to worry, he'll just put everyone to sleep again. But Crystal tells him not to, and then magic appears, hitting him in the back of the head. As his body falls limp, she tells him to come along, and the two disappear. Storm asks, what the hell was that? And Angel says that he doesn't know, and then suddenly a giant steel beam falls down, and then several more. Storm shouts for everyone to get to cover, and as shadows appear overhead, Bobby tells everyone that there really isn't any cover from this. Everyone looks up to see Magneto as he tells everyone, I'm sorry, but none of you are going anywhere. More beams begin to fall around everyone, forming a wall, and Crystal tells them that he's...
I'll give you a quick zoom in, guys, to show you why I get rid of all the lines underneath. You probably know why I'm getting rid of them, but you can see the difference between now where I've done the pen and what it looks like without the pen there and without the pencil there.
He just really can't believe he's here. He's never really been much of a hero. Scott tells them that what they're about to do won't be easy. They can't do it without him. Years ago, the X-Men saved him and his mother. He doesn't owe them anything. It's just what they do and what they want to keep doing. Alchemy then says, of all the transparent floors, and Scott stops him, telling him, I want to be transparent. I want you to make this choice of your own free will. So, do you want to be an X-Man? After a few moments, Alchemy says, yeah. And Scott tells him, good. It's time to get to work. As the group looks at the oncoming clouds, Sunfire asks if he's ready. Alchemy says that he thinks so. Sunfire grabs a hold of him, and the two of them go flying up through the air towards the clouds. But just as they get into position, a blast of energy knocks the two of them out of the sky. Across the field, Scott sees Medusa and the other Inhumans stepping out of a portal. Scott shouts to the Stepford sisters to keep the Royals busy, and Emma runs down to check on Alchemy and Sunfire and tells them that they have to get back in the air. Alchemy says, I just fell from the sky, for God's sake. I think I might have a broken arm. Emma tells him that she'll break the other one if he doesn't get, but then Scott grabs a hold of her, telling her to stop. He kneels down and tells him that he knows that this hurts. He's sorry, but he needs him to push through this.
Well, you can reveals all the places where I'm going to need to put a little bit of dark pen, shading, and add some stuff. It's going to be a fun one when I go to digitizing.
And the rest of them open fire on her. As the smoke clears, the Stepford sisters smile as their plan worked, and the Inhumans just opened fire on blast bolts. Up in the sky, Alchemy gets to work on the cloud as Medusa teleports to the
I'm going to get rid of all that
wraps the girls up, and
stuff there.
Alchemy is finishing changing the Terrigen cloud. Scott tells them that there's their conquering hero, and as Sunfire sets him down, he tells them that he thinks the boy may be sick. Scott kneels down with them, telling him that he'll be all right.
So we've got an illustration. I'm going to pause that. I'm going to pause that and Bart. So we've got all of the construction lines done and put down. Sorry, not construction. I keep saying construction lines. It's my favorite word lately. We've got all that done, finished off. We're just going to add in a few more bits now where it needs just a little bit, because when I got rid of the actual pencil, there was darker lines, nice shaded line, defining shaded lines. They're not there now, so I'm going to put them back. It does look a lot better if you do. So some of the stuff I obviously wanted to get rid of, but some of this I want to keep. It just looks better to personally. Personally, I think so. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Going over some stuff here. I'm still don't know right. Before I go in any darker, thicker lines with the other pens, I want to get this where all the little fine lines are. I want to get them done first, because I can and will go over it again. Okay, so I'm missing that. All right. All day long and all day long. Da ba da ba da, da ba da ba da. DVD. Right. Thicker lines in there now. Just gonna add a little bit there. Yeah, that's as good as I think it's gonna get with this anyway. So let's start adding darker things.
Not a soldier. Emma says they're coming, and Scott tells everyone to wait there. He's gonna save the X-Men. And as Red Rain begins to pour out onto the battlefield from Alchemy's successful attempt to change into Terrigen Mist into something not toxic to mutants, Scott shouts to the Inhumans. Medusa steps out of a portal asking, "What have you done?" And Scott tells them that he changed the composition of the cloud to something that isn't toxic. But before she can ask, he says, "Don't worry, it's harmless to Inhumans." Medusa demands to know why. "You've just made the Inhumans enemies with you forever." And Scott says, "We already were when you poisoned the planet. We both have a story for what is right and what is wrong, but what matters is who is believed." As Scott goes on, Magic says that they need to go help him, but Emma tells her no. Scott has to do this. Scott then says, "I've been a lot of things, a student, a warrior, a teacher, even a killer. But now, with everything tainted, I'm not even a person. All that's left of me is an idea." His eyes begin to light up, and he tells Medusa, "The good thing about ideas is that ideas never die." And before Scott can fire off a blast, Black Bolt yells, tearing Scott's body apart. A week passes, and Storm gives the eulogy at Scott Summers' funeral. But off in the distance, Emma stands with Alex Summers, and he asks, "What kind of game are you playing?" Emma says that Storm can sure talk, and Alex tells her that it's because of Storm that they were able to negotiate a truce. Emma then says, "Everything is done now. The Inhumans will leave us alone. We'll leave the Inhumans alone." And Hank continues working to find a solution. But the only man that she ever wanted to care about her is still dead. Alex asks, "Is he really? Because I know he's sure as hell not in that coffin." The others told me how Scott died, suicide by Black Bolt, but Scott would never go out that way. Emma then walks off telling him to come. She supposes that he deserves to know. After a short walk, Alex stands over the body of Scott, and Alex asks, "How?" And Emma says that when they first came to investigate the Terrigen Cloud, when they entered the facility and Scott collapsed, it was then. He died then. Alex begins to piece together what happened. Everything that was done was all a lie. The broadcast, the talks with Alchemy, the death by Black Bolt. Emma goes on stating, "Don't you see? Scott isn't dead. When Scott died in my arms, I couldn't let him die because of some disease. He was born to lead, and I turned him into an idea. And thank God for that, because his work isn't done. There's still a second cloud out there, because I made him into an idea, and ideas never die." This started an uneasy truce between the Inhumans and the X-Men. But now we're entering a day and age where that truce is ending. And if you want to know where this is going, then go pick up Inhumans vs. X-Men, the newest series that has begun, because there's no truce anymore. If you guys enjoy your comic books read back to you dramatically, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel, give this video a like if you want more X-Men, and please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Comic Story.
Could you catch that, guys? Check them out. I am pretty much done on the inking stage here, guys. I am well and truly finished. Why do you do that? Do this. Right. Doop. So yeah, other than a few bits and bobs I can see now lifting this camera up, we're done. We've inked it and it's ready. To get that color put in. I mean, I could start shading this with pencil, but what would be the point in shading it with pencil? Because I am going to be using inking methods, as in my Copic markers. So I ain't going to really need... No, I'm not going to need to... No, what am I talking about? Copic markers are... This is what I can do with the Copic marker, and this is what I'm going to be doing with the Copic markers. If you didn't say yesterday, this is my reference picture, but I use my new pens to actually color this in. So that's what I'll be doing in tomorrow's video, guys, and I'll be showing you how to put in the different let's go side by side there. I'll be showing you how to do the different shades and different tones with one pen, or maybe a combination of two pens, because that's what I've done here. This is actually on the legs, and the feet are actually a combination of three pens, all in one. The different tones, different shades. Again, these will blend, and they blend really, really well. So tune in tomorrow, guys, to watch that, as that's when I'll be doing the colouring in of this one. All I can say is thanks for watching this stream today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow. I can't end the stream. I don't know. There's no end button. There's nothing, in fact. But yeah, guys, click the links that will appear. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for colouring with my new and swanky pens. Which are these? See you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.